we've reached that point of the season where for high school football teams, you can fill out the cliches. It's do or die, now or never. There is no tomorrow. And for either the White Bear Lake Bears or the Eagan Wildcats, tomorrow will be spent turning in uniforms and their equipment. Welcome to high school playoffs football, 6A from Eagan High School. Pleased to be joined once again by the one and only Mr. Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. Glad to be with you here for a home game for the Wildcats. And Nathan, this was a game we were not sure that the Eagan Wildcats were going to get as they came in at 3-5.
Yeah, a record like that ordinarily is not going to get you a home playoff game, but the way the world works and the way 6A football works, it puts you in the conversation for a 4-5 seed, that kind of an area. And the Wildcats in this section have a 4 seed. The White Bear Lake area Bears roll in with a similar record of 3-5. Current weather here at Wildcat Stadium, as you can see, a balmy 35 degrees, some stiff, nasty winds, frankly, out of the northwest. We're not anticipating any precipitation tonight, which is good because, quite frankly, that could definitely hold off given that the number of games this week have been impacted by precipitation. But
that precipitation could be white.
It could be when it does come, it could be white. You see the student section there for the Bears. They are in an orange out, which of course makes sense. The White Bear area Bears. I want to say White
Bear Lake Bears. I know.
I know. I grew up saying White Bear Lake, not White Bear area, and so it just gets one of those things. But
by the way, real quick, the Eagan Pit, you see them. They're a good turnout tonight. It's a blackout for them, and they said it. Told a couple of students I want to give them a hard time because White Bear Lake is here in orange. Eagan's wearing black. White Bear Lake's colors are black and orange. Just trying to be hospitable?
Yeah, absolutely hospitable. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're going with that.
Absolutely. In any event, both, it's not just a community event at this time of the year. Of course, Mike, it's a football game. And it's got two teams with 3-5 records. Everybody wants to move on, and you see there the bracket there from the Minnesota State High School League. The winner of this game is going to get the winner of the 1-8 seed between Eden Prairie and Osseo. I think it's fair to say that Eden Prairie's heavily favored to win that game.
Yeah, I told somebody on the field before the game, I said, this might be the one time we'll mention Osseo tonight because, let's face it, winless Osseo, you can move EP over in that one.
I think so.
I think you can take EP minus, about 40?
Yeah.
And that's just for the first half.
It could get ugly, although obviously the Eagles have to take care of their business, and you've got the Wildcats and the Bears. Then you've got, the teams on the other side of the bracket, which frankly we're not going to talk about because it doesn't matter if you can't get by Eden Prairie. But you see the Bears coming out in their white uniforms, black helmets, kind of a little bit Farmington-esque, but nice, sharp-looking uniforms, and they're ready to roll. The White Bear Lake area has been like Eagan, has been a building program. They've had to kind of rebuild. The culture has had to get better. The culture's had to change. They've had to develop. They've had to, recruit players and get players in. A number of players on this team, Mike Cook, in fact, started the season not on the team.
Yeah, they come in. They are 3-5. However, they have won 3 of their last 4. The cynic might say those teams that they beat have a combined 3 wins. However, these are high school kids, and you get some wins under your belt, you develop some confidence. Speaking of wins, here come your Eagan Wildcats off of that big thrashing of Eastview about 9 days ago. Jack Hansen leading out the home team.
Wildcats took care of business in Apple Valley, taking out inter-district rival Eastview. In fact, by beating Eastview and Rosemount, I think the Wildcats have won the 196 Cup this year, Mike Cook, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was you and Josh Anderson, the Ladder Club, Big Shot, were trying to come up with a name. What do you call it, the Johnny Appleseed Cup or something?
I'm not sure what we're going to end up calling it, but I like the fact that we have it, whatever it is.
And of course, Apple Valley, they're 5A, so they've got their own deal. But among the 3 6A schools, Eastview, Eagan, and Rosemount, 2-0 Wildcats this year. Good to see the Eagan band is here. They're fired up, ready to go. As we said, the pit, they are really squished in together. I think part of it is they're just trying to stay warm. But also really good fan support here tonight for the Wildcats. And something the Booster Club did, the Ladder Crew, they've got cardboard or head cutouts of many of the players that parents were able to order. So hopefully we'll get some shots of that tonight of parents proudly displaying their sons, grandsons, nephews, whatever. But just fun, the excitement here in Wildcat country. And of course, to get things started, we will go with our national anthem.
Following the national anthem, please remain standing until the colors are off the field. The national anthem this evening will be performed by Monty Sternberg. She is a sophomore at Eagan High School. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Monty Sternberg. So please remain standing as the colors are off the field. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
About it on the outset, we talked about the wind tonight. You saw it on that flag. That flag was stiff during the national anthem, so if you're moving left to right tonight, that wind is a strong wind will be at your back.
It'll be interesting to see how both teams react to it. Both teams have an invested interest in playing smart football that controls the clock, runs the ball, does what they need to do to keep it away from the other team. The Bears know that the Wildcats can put points on the board and definitely need to keep the Wildcats off schedule. Wildcats know that the Bears are one of the hottest teams in 6A right now, and they need to be good defensively to take on the Bears.
It's interesting. I had a chance to talk to both Eagan coach Nick Johnson and White Bear coach Ryan Bartlett before the game, and everybody believes this is a game that's going to be won pretty much between the tackles. Two teams that are really, like you said, mirrors of each other. It's going to be run, 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 run. I don't think either coach wants to put the football in the air unless they absolutely have to tonight. Not only with the win, but the passing game is not the forte of either one of these squads. Although the Cats, I mean, Carson Schwam did have a nice touchdown pass to Sisk last week down at Eastview that was, I think, was 77 yards, I believe. So the Cats are able to throw the football on occasion when they need to. But they are not a team that's built to come back from a big deficit.
Well, we've seen the Wildcats here on ETV a couple of times this year, Mike, where they've played very well. They've protected the ball, i.e. the Rosemount victory. They've protected the ball, played well, done what they needed to do, and were dominant. We've also seen them turn the ball over, commit penalties, do things like that have put them really behind it. And here we go.
This one is returnable from the 11. Far side, I believe that's Lipscomb, far side. He's going to get out near the 34, 35. Get used to hearing that name Lipscomb tonight. 28 in white. He is the key back right now for this White Bear squad. 212 yards a week ago in their win over Osseo. 700 plus yards combined over the last 4 starts for that young man.
Well, he's the motor that keeps the offense going there for the Bears, and we'll see tonight whether the Wildcats can put a monkey in the wrench.
Cats, of course, missing Carter Will, their linebacker, knee injury. He's done for the year. And first down, nice run for White Bear. They're going to get out near the 40-yard line. Lipscomb, of course, right away, just off that left side, quick 7. Cats making a change. Hans Anderson comes off the field. I did not see who went in to replace Hans. A little confusion, looks like, for Eagan. Now they're getting everybody in the right spot. And Connor Straub, he's out for the year, the big defensive end for the Wildcats. He's got an ACL injury. Unfortunately, sounds like he's going to have to miss the baseball season, too. And White Bear's going to get a first down on their second play out near the 48-yard line. Now they are going to say he was down at the 48, but 8-yard pickup, 2 carries, 15 yards for Lipscomb.
Now what I don't like here is, if you're an Eagan fan, you're watching this, Lipscomb's getting he's getting too much around the edge. He's making too many yards before there's any contact. And, you give a back like that, 3 or 4 yards by himself, and he's going to get you another 3 or 4 yards on his own, and that's what he's done on these last 2 plays. Wildcats have got to meet him at the line of scrimmage, force him to either change his direction or slow his pace.
Tomi Animashan is the quarterback for White Bear Lake, wearing number 5 tonight. But why not hand it back off to your back, Lipscomb? And he's going to be close to another first down. Nice little juke step there to get an extra 2, maybe 3 yards before he's brought down. Bennett Larson and company in on the stop. I think Dorsey might have found his way up there as well from his cornerback spot.
That was a great cut. Lipscomb with a great cutback. He did a great job. He started on the right side of the line and spun it all the way back to the left hash.
We're going to say 9 on that carry.
Wildcats have got to stay at home. If he's going to cut back like that, if they don't stay at home, he's going to burn them for a big gain.
Again, just underway here in Wildcat country. And another handoff, another nice chunk of change this time for White Bears. They're going to hand that time to Atkins. He's lost the football. Cats say they have it. The officials say, yes, you do, Wildcats. First turnover of the night by White Bear. Picked up about 15 on that carry, but could not hang on to the pigskin. And falling on it for the Wildcats is Henry Heinlein, number 33 from his linebacker spot. There were 3 Wildcats all over that one, ready to pick it up.
Well, Eisen forced the fumble. Heinlein comes up with it. Nicely done that time by the Wildcats. That's just what they needed to answer what was a beginning, a promising drive for the White Bear Lake Bears.
So from their 24, the Eagan Wildcats decked out in the all blues tonight. Tate Gage back, by the way, for the Wildcats, number 2. Yeah, nice pickup there on first down by the Eagan ball carrier. That's actually going to be Schwann, the quarterback. I was talking to Carson's mom before the game, and she was telling me that he had one of his goals this year, win a playoff game. Well, got here last year, stunk out the joint for the first half against Forest Lake, made a late rally, but just couldn't quite get over the hump.
Well, Mike, that's the next rung of the ladder, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, climb the ladder, win a playoff game, get to the second round of the playoffs. It shows progress this year.
Straight ahead. There's Tate Gage back in the lineup for the Wildcats. Again, Tate missed last week's game at Eastview. NJ was saying he could have played if they needed him, but it was kind of good. Tate's really been the bell cow this year, and he's gotten beat up a lot.
Yeah, and he doesn't have, we've made this remark on ETV before, Mike Cook. He does not have a prototypical between the tackles type of body. He's not, 5'10", 6 feet, 200 plus pounds. He's just smaller than that. And it's a lot of punishment on a smaller frame.
They list him at 6 foot 170. And straight ahead, there's some running room. It's Schwam, 30, 25. Carson Schwam gets a block, and he's out of bounds inside the red zone. The senior signal caller goes left end for a big Wildcat gain.
Well, he was hard to pick up for us here in the booth. He had to be hard for the defense to pick up as well, as Schwam took that almost to the house. I measured that almost 50. I think that's a 50-yard run.
Yeah, from 48 down to the 15. He started back at his own 37, so yeah, take the 13 plus 35. There we go. You and I are District 196 education.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting our math going there. In the red zone come the Wildcats. And minimal pickup that time on first down, maybe a couple. I'm going to guess, Schwam actually the ball carrier once again. I saw Gage was standing there. I thought maybe Nick Tesdall got into the game because he's had some kind of the number 2 back maybe in those plays that this year for the Cats.
Well, you made a remark just a moment ago, Mike Cook, about Carson Schwam saying, hey, I really want to win this playoff game. He's playing like it right now.
Absolutely. Carson, who also raps on the side. The Kid YT is his rap name, or hip hop, one of them. Straight ahead, inside the 5, just shy. It's enough for a first down, but it's Schwam again, the ball carrier. This drive has gone 80 yards thus far. 79 of those are by Schwam.
I got to tell you, from my perspective, Mike Cook, it looks like the Bears are really keying off that dive back. They're really trying to take away Gage as an option for Schwam in this offense. The challenge is if you run the triple option the right way, if whatever you take away, the Wildcats can deliver with something else.
Sam Sisk is off your screen to the right. Can't imagine the Cats are going to go to the air, however. Straight ahead, down to about the 1 for the Eagan Wildcats. Looking to put the first points on the board tonight, and that time it was Tate Gage once again getting those tough yards.
It was almost a reverse of what has happened so many times, where Gage takes you from the 20 all the way in.
Exactly.
And then Schwam poaches the touchdown at the end.
I was just going to say, we've seen this a lot where you get to this point, Gage doesn't work. Schwam gets the glory on a 1-yard plunge. Does it happen once again? Will 17 go over? He does. Schwam is 6 points, Eagan. What a nice drive by the Eagan Wildcats. 76 yards in 7 plays.
You look at, I don't know if you guys were watching like I was, but if you saw Carson Schwam's posture right before the snap, it sure looked like he was going to take that ball and just kind of push forward as opposed to getting his weight back in his heels a little bit. Look at that. He's standing up, and he's going to let Gage just push him in. Good push from Will and Hanson and all those guys.
And it's good, by the way. 6:47 to go, opening quarter here on ETV, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Eagan Wildcats. A much, much better start than when they were here 1 year ago in this first round. The pit, they're fired up. You see the cheerleaders, they're fired up. Maybe trying to stay warm as well. Nonetheless,
you can be fired up and still try to stay warm, Mike Cook. I mean, come on. It's called multitasking.
Yes, it is.
Big test here early now for the White Bear Lake area Bears. Boy, I'm just going to start saying Bears from now on, because every time I try to say WPL, it's getting messed up.
Just to cover you for a second, I asked NJ, when's the last time you guys played White Bear? He thought 15, 16 years ago. And I got to thinking about that. I guess I do remember going to a game up there, but
it's been a while.
It's been a long time. So that's, it's not the Forest Lake Rangers that we kept calling the Lakers.
Yep. But big test for the Bears. I mean, they've been hit in the mouth, and now their job is to respond.
Absolutely. Yeah, give it to Lipscomb. Why not? This time it'll be from his 8. He had a nice return first time. Not going to get nearly as good this time, as White Bear will start at about their 25-yard line. A host of blue shirts in on that stop for the Wildcats. Ozzie Cooper among them. Key drive here for White Bear Lake. You got to go down. You got to get something, make something happen here. You cannot afford to get into a hole early.
No, neither team is really built for that, right? Neither team is built for quick strikes down the field, going over the top or anything like that. Bears do run from the pistol, so that gives them a little bit of versatility. Not quite as one-dimensional as maybe the Wildcats are, but now it's a big test for them.
Absolutely. And they'll hand it off. A couple of tough yards. He's going to get it. Maybe pick up another even tougher yard on a 3-yard carry that time for White Bear Lake. And you can guess who the ball carrier was on that one. Their coach was telling me, too, this kid is a wrestler. So he's tough as nails. Lipscomb. Keyshawn is, how you say it, his first name? Kea. Kesean. He's a senior running back. They list him at 5'5", 160.
Yeah, he looks, from up here, he looks compact.
Yes. Give it to him again. Got a seam, and it's going to set up 3rd and about 1. You know, he's only carried the ball like 5 times tonight, but he does not hesitate. It's like, just give me the ball and I'm going. Take a look here.
Nice play out to the side as the Wildcats do rally and manage to stop him short of the line to gain. But again, there just a little too much, Mike, where the Wildcats were letting Lipscomb get 2 or 3 yards down the field before there was any contact, before he had to change direction or anything like that. And so, a guy like that, if you give him too much space, he's going to burn you.
Absolutely. A lot of options here in the playbook on 3rd and 1. Bounces outside. Second effort's going to get the first down before he gets gang tackled. But most important for White Bear Lake, chains are going to move. Madden Eisen among those in on the stop for the Wildcats, number 20 in blue. Madden's had to step up, play a little linebacker here. There's injuries on that side of the ball for the Wildcats. Of course, Carter Will, he's done with it. He's got a messed up knee. He's done for the season. Christian Langhorst, he got hurt, I think, midway through the year. So some other kids have had to step up on that Eagan D.
Part of being a successful football player, having a successful football program, is staying as injury-free as possible. And injuries are an inevitable part of a physical game like this. But having people who can step in, i.e. next man up, is extremely important for both teams.
I was just about to say, another team went to the air. White Bear's going to do it. They've got a man, and that's tipped, caught, going to the house. Touchdown, White Bear Lake. 63 yards on the touchdown. Austin Gibson, I believe, is at 15 with the catch.
Well, I'm not sure that's how Gibson would have drawn it up on a chalkboard. Batting, look how many times it's 1, 2, 3, 4, but he ends up coming down with it. What a highlight for that young man. Great acceleration, good concentration, staying with that ball. Secondly, great job. Look at him put on the Jets.
Absolutely.
And go by the defense. We got ourselves a football game, Mike.
Jack Kruger, closest man to him. Kick is up. Kick is good. 4:19 to go in the first. 7-7 Eagan, White Bear Lake. The early starters, it's kind of like both teams are moving the football, which I got to admit surprises me. I thought we'd see a little more defensive stoutness early anyway.
We started the game thinking that it probably wouldn't be a track meet. Yeah, it's kind of feeling like a track meet at this moment, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I asked Ryan Bartlett, the White Bear coach, said, yeah, this is a low-scoring affair, and I said something like, what, a 14-13? You think, yeah, probably, somewhere in that ballpark.
We could be 14-13 by halftime.
I was going to say, we're first quarter the way this one's going.
Yeah.
Again, winner of this game is going to go to Eden Prairie next Friday, November 3rd, for a round of 16 matchup. We said unless the upset of upsets happen and winless Osseo can knock off EP tonight. So yeah, the winner of this game goes to EP next week. The undefeated Eagles.
Well, what a great response by the Bears, Mike Cook. I mean, what a great response. They took a punch. They down early, 7 points, looked really, I wouldn't say hopeless on defense, not at all, but looked like they were still looking for some answers on defense against Schwamm in that offense. And now they're right back in this football game, and now it's Eagan that has to deal with that.
It's a directional kick. Cats better get there. And they do fall on it back at about the 25-yard line. Kruger falling on that football for the Wildcats. And maybe it's just me, but Nathan, it seems like we've seen more teams doing that this year. Just kind of that little, I don't want to call it a pooch kick, but it gets down to like the 25, and again, you force Kruger to fall on it, no return.
Yeah, it's an interesting trend. It's an excellent observation, Mike. It's an interesting trend. I think it does a couple of things. The first is it means you don't have to have a kicker who can put it out the back of the end zone. Right. So if your kicker's not that powerful, you can function. Also, it doesn't require massive coverages, right? Your coverage doesn't have to be running down in lanes as much.
Schwamm Still gets 3 going around the right end that time. If you've been with us all year, for Eagan fans, of course, you've seen Carson Schwam. He and Brooklyn Evans have really kind of rotated, almost rotated series. Sometimes feels like they've rotated snaps, leading this Eagan offense. But we have yet to call the name for Evans tonight, number 11 in blue. 17, Schwam again. Does not want this to be his last career game at Eagan High School. Of course, nor do any of the seniors. Blue. Schwam keeps. I think he thought about pitching, wisely keeps. Goes out of bounds to set up a 3rd and short. Over by the White Bear bench.
Well, he got into the short side, what ultimately became the short side of the field. Yeah, he's that short side of the field. You look at the pitchback, Ison's out there available, but if you're going to get 4 yards and not take a risk with the football, I think that's the smart play by Schwab.
Yeah, Sam Sisk trying to lead the way there, but was not able to clear the White Bear Lake Bear out of the way. 4th and about 2, maybe 3 for the Cats. Just about to say, we haven't seen a hanky yet this game, have we? Straight ahead, first down Eagan. Across the 40. That's Gage country. Of course, there is Gage on the bottom of that pile.
Like the ball security there by Tate Gage, squeezing that thing down. You can see as he comes through, he's got a lot of traffic, and whenever you run between the tackles, you've got to hold on to that football, otherwise really bad things can happen. Watch him squeeze this ball as he's taken down. You're going to see him get up. He's going to have both arms on that ball. Very nicely done.
I'm going to give credit to Eagan O-line right there, too. Gage had about 6 yards before he was touched by a defender. Similar play, similar result of about a 6-yard pickup for the Eagan Wildcats as they get within, I will say, sniffing distance of midfield to the 48-yard line. Well, 2 by Schwam, 2 by Gage. Net of 23 yards on this drive for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Hendler and Will having a nice job. You're really doing well there on the, I think that's the, that's the right side of the line, I think. I just can't see where they're lining up, but nice job by both those players on the last push. Gage, it's easy to run when you can get 8 yards every time.
Straight ahead, first down Wildcats. Let's tack on about 6 more for the home team. First down at the White Bear 46-yard line. Nice block up and ahead by Cole Meyer, among others, for the Wildcats. 57, the Wildcats center. 55, Cole Will is back on that O-line as well. As Cole has missed the last couple of games with an injury, but good to see the junior back in action for the home team.
You don't have to hold those blocks super long when Gage is literally 3 yards behind you.
Play looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? And it's going to be just shy. This time it's going to be 9 yards for the Wildcats. Again, Gage just imposing his will with a lot of help from that offensive line.
Yeah, as we used to say back in my day, you know, assisted by the offensive line.
There you go. I can't remember who it was that used to call them the big uglies, but you know, those guys never get enough love.
No,
but you know, they do so much of the, so unassuming and doing all the hard work. 2nd and short, Cats. 1st and 10, Cats. As out across the 35-yard line, minimal pickup, but it's enough to move the sticks. As we are down to 1:12 and counting to go here, opening quarter on ETV. Of course, you're home for Wildcat Sports. Game 3, they're going to say, down to the 34. Eagan's 2nd possession of the game. First Series 7 plays, 76 yards. White Bear responds on a 67-yard score. Just plowing ahead, the Wildcats again. It's going to be a gain of about 7, I'm going to call it, on what very well could be the last play of quarter number 1. I don't think they need to run another play. So you see the clock inside 30 seconds. And they are not going to run another play as the Wildcats come to the bench. 12 minutes in the books. The White Bear Lake Bears 7, Eagan Wildcats 7.
We have ourselves a football game, Mike.
We do.
There was a little bit of the other kind of football
I was just gonna
earlier
say,
this week.
at White Bear Lake.
It was at White Bear Lake High School. The Eagan High School girls Section 3-3A champions and South Suburban Conference champions ventured north to White Bear Lake, where they took on the Andover Huskies. Andover Huskies coming out of, I think that's Section 7 AAA. And unfortunately for the Eagan girls, they ended up losing in penalty kicks. It was 1-1 at the end of regulation. Went through 2 periods of extra time, and it came down to penalty kicks at the end, and Andover was successful. But, I mean, that being said, those girls very disappointed to be in that situation. Wish they were going to the bank. Really wanted to go to the bank. Lots of tears and crying and emotion, which is totally understandable. At the same time, still a great season. Section 3-3A champions, South Suburban Conference champions. If you told me at the beginning of the season you're going to be section champions and conference champions, and that's all I can guarantee you, I think everybody would have been happy, even if it hurts and stings a little bit after Tuesday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great run for that Eagan girls soccer team this year. And as long as we're talking girls sports, the volleyball team, they beat Rosemount 3-1 here last night. Section final, November 2nd, over at Eastridge. And we all remember, was it 2 years ago, Eastridge came in here and knocked off the Wildcats in the section final. And Tesdall's first carry. Unfortunately for he and the Wildcats, it's also the first negative play of the night for the Wildcats. Check that, that was ice in the ball carrier, 20, not 30. So it's going to be a loss of maybe 2. Set up a third, and we'll call it about 4. So yeah, volleyball team is advancing, or they, like I said, the section final. So good luck to the volleyball squad. Of course, McKenna Melville, now the coach, her first year. 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. Gage alone backfield. Ison on the wing. Gage, straight ahead, Schwab. First down inside the 20. Let's put him down to the 16-yard line. Much like myself, I think White Bear really bit on the fake. 11-yard pickup for Schwab.
Well, watch Schwab get tackled by Gibson, our touchdown scorer, from behind. Look, he's grabbing onto the jersey. I thought he took him down by his towel. But in any event, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. I tell you, the Bears have got to get something straightened out here on defense. Otherwise, because the Wildcats right now are really slicing and dicing, Mike.
Yep. And the Wildcats into that stiff wind right now. Not that it matters, because Eagan has yet to put the football in the air. I cannot imagine they will, as Schwam gets extra effort down inside the 10, almost to the 5. Boy, I thought he was going to be stopped for sure about 7 yards before this ending place. You watch here coming around. I think White Bear really had him right there, and Schwam just powers his way ahead. And it should be a first down Wildcats, I believe.
We've got a 1st and goal, I think, from the 7?
From the 6, I think.
6 or 7 yard line. They don't have
where
it up on the whiteboard yet.
Yeah, they'll spot it at the 6.
There's an injured Bear on the play who got up after the play and ran off, so that was a little bit of a delay, but in any event, here we go.
I'm just looking down below in the pit. They're ready to, I don't want to say explode, but they're ready to let out some joy, shall we say, if the Cats can get this 6 yards. No, fumble, and Schwam quickly falls on it. White Bear Lake does have the lone turnover so far tonight. And it was down this end of the field, albeit out at about, I think it was like the 24.
That's like Schwab, number 17, recovering the loose ball. On the play defensively for the Bears.
Hit Schwab in the hands. I think those hands weren't quite, how to say this nicely and delicately, deep enough. I think they needed to be just a little bit farther down. I think he was pulling out real fast because he's excited, he's youthful. It's youthful exuberance, we'll call it, Mike Cook.
Sure, let's go with that.
He pulls out quickly, and he wants to get to the dive back, but he's got to make sure he has that football.
Straight eye, Wildcats. Straight ahead, Gage, that is 6 points. Eagan.
6 yards, touchdown, Wildcats.
The Wildcats made that one look easy. Coming out of that eye, it's a different look than their ordinary or normal backfield. But a great push, the right side of that line. Hanson, Will. Oh my goodness gracious. The push from that right side of that line was absolutely phenomenal.
Colwell, 55, you said it. Jack Hansen, 78, who now in for the PAT for the Wildcats. Kick is up, kick is over the crossbar. Early stages, quarter number 2. The Eagan Wildcats, 14. The White Bear Lake Bears, 7. I'll bet they're liking us up at Eagan Arms right now. One of our many sponsors for Eagan football this year.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, go in there after the game if you're a Wildcat fan. Have your colors on. It's a BOGO.
Yeah, BOGO 2 for 1 pints. I guess BOGO would be the same as 2 for 1. I probably didn't need to say that, but
Potato.
yeah,
Exactly.
well, you know, in case somebody hears it different.
Either way. Again, like I said, Eagan Arms, one of our sponsors. Cooper's. I'm sure that'll be a frequented establishment as well. So good to hear the Eagan band firing things up. The fans are a little kind of sitting down here on the near side. I think they're maybe just frozen.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. You saw the temperature before the game, folks, at home, and whether you're in South Florida, South Dakota, or parts unknown, it's cold out here early in the season. Fortunately, they've added heat up to into the press box where you and I are. So it's actually a bit, I don't know, it's a bit steamy up here.
Seth Coleman in with the kick, short kick. And the White Bears going to return that out near the 40-yard line. Number 12, Aiden Akins. Primarily a linebacker for this Bears squad, but he's also got some carries lately with some success for the White Bear Lake Bears. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he might have had the winner a week ago. Yeah, 13.8 seconds left. Last week got a touchdown as they beat Osseo 28-21. First career touchdown for that young man was the game winner for the Bears. Now they start from about their own 40. Extremely red well. Ison bursting through. Getting back to the line of scrimmage with Lipscomb. Ison all over that for the Wildcats. Nice job of fighting off the block and finishing it off.
Well, so far, the White Bear offensive line had done a good job of giving Lipscomb seams to run in. And that time, Ison did a nice job of stepping up and filling quickly. But you know what I liked? One of the things I liked the most was the fact that he wrapped and made that tackle and didn't, you know, how many times have we seen Wildcats, their feet move their hands to the ball, but then their hands don't finish the deal? And that time he did.
It's not just Eagan, that's across high school football. Lipscomb. Better results this time. It's about 3. As the White Bear student section across the way was jumping up and down. They're now looking at a 3rd and 7 for their boys. It's the trumpet song. I know there's a name for this song, but I keep thinking the Mets reliever that used to come into it. Anyway. 3rd and 7, White Bear. Do they go to the air for the second time tonight? Into the sideline.
Wind at their back.
Yep. Coach Bartlett, what's he going to call for? Air, man, behind, incomplete pass. Should be punt time for the Bears.
It wasn't a bad idea. It was not a bad pass, not a bad route, or I should say not a bad route. It looked like
he was open.
It looked like he was open or was in a window between the corner and the safety. So it wasn't a bad idea. It just the execution just wasn't quite there. I think the White Bear quarterback. Samoan. I think he couldn't see.
Punt nicely hunted there off the low snap. AJ Clark going to let it go. Will it reach the blue paint? And it does. For a split second, I thought that ball might hang there. Bottom line, Wildcats with 7:37 to go. Take over here in the second quarter. 14-7 lead for the Eagan Wildcats. 2 drives have resulted in 2 touchdowns for Eagan.
Sorry, apologies to Tomi Anima-Shawan. I butchered his name just a minute ago. Try not to do that again.
The Cats so far, their 2 drives, 76 yards, 75 yards for the scores. I think we pretty much know what we're going to see here, don't we? As I say that, here goes Ison. He scored on this last home game. Going to the house, he needs a block. Nonetheless, he didn't go to the house, but he gets out near midfield.
Great blocking to the outside. It was the lead back. Ison did a nice job of reading his blocks. The offensive line did a good job, but really I think watch the near side here. Watch Gage. Gage, and it was 67 for the Wildcats. That's Hendler. Hendler, I'm not sure if he was pulling or if he just looped, but in any event, nice job.
Shaw maybe calling the audible. Schwam, he'll keep it. And gets maybe a couple of yards there. Coming up off the bottom of that pile was Gibson for White Bear Lake, number 15. He had that touchdown catch earlier in the game for the Bears. Akins as well on the stop for White Bear.
It's one of the things you see with programs that are building and growing, Mike Cook, is players, having to play 2 ways, being on both sides of the ball, just like the Wildcats have had Ison playing both ways, Hanson playing both ways. The Bears, similar situation. You won't see that next week against Eden Prairie, whoever wins this football game.
Absolutely. 2 receivers right for the Wildcats. Schwam keep. Schwam will pitch. Ison cuts to the outside, makes one man miss. And a high tackle that time by White Bear Lake, a legal tackle. Sets up 3rd and about 3 for the Eagan Wildcats. Starting to see who that was. That might have been Dumbia for White Bear Lake that came in with that stop, number 14.
Big credit there to Ison. Honestly, it didn't look like it.
Schwam surveys the defense. And this is going to be close. I think they're going to be just shy. And if they are, it's going to be 4th and less than a yard. Gage, the ball carrier that time for the Wildcats. Nice job by White Bear to read that. And it's 4th and less than a yard for the Eagan Wildcats. Big play here for both squads as we're just past the halfway point of quarter number 2. The Cats holding on to that 1 touchdown lead.
I like the call, Mike. I like the call to go for it here. You've been running it well all night. Why not keep trying it?
This one where Schwan just goes over. Yep. A little bit of that, not quite a Philadelphia Eagle tush push, but Schwan might have got a little assistance there from the backfield mate. But bottom line, sticks are moving. 1st down, Eagan Wildcats.
And the clock is moving. Less than 5, just coming up on 5 minutes here in the half.
And remember, Eagles gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, that's a situation the Wildcats have not found themselves in too often this year, Mike, where they've had a chance to double up on another team.
Right.
They've got the chance right now, and they need to do that.
So 1st down from the 37-yard line. Cats methodically moving down the field. This drive has taken almost 3 minutes thus far. Schwam pitch, Ison, far side, and pushed out of bounds on that far side. Actually, that was Brooklyn Evans. That's his first carry of the football game for number 11. As the Wildcat, the pit, I think was trying to do the skull chant, it looked like for some reason. But Evans pushed out of bounds, picks up about maybe 6 that time.
Had to be good blocking at the point of attack, and it was. I'll be honest with you, as Schwab came to that pitch point, I was thinking he should just tuck that and dive forward, but he did a nice job of making sure Evans got it, and then Evans, again, slippery around the side.
Absolutely. This will be Ison. Falls forward as he got enough to get to the sticks. They're going to say he's about a yard shy. He was stripped up that time by number 32 for White Bear Lake, Donovan Morris, the junior. So 3rd and short, 2 long, 1 upcoming for the Cats. So we're down to 4:15 here in the opening half. Both teams, 3 timeouts remain. Tight formation. Schwamp keeps. And are they going to give him? I think progress is going to get him there before he gets met by about 5 white shirts. First man in, Evan Chang, senior D lineman. And you don't miss Evan. He's 6 foot 270. They've got him listed at.
Does a nice job of filling up the space, and that time did a nice job making the tackle on Schwab.
3rd first down of this drive for the Eagan Wildcats. On to 3.5 to go. 7:37 on the clock when this drive started. Schwam. Nice pickup again. First down. Good positive yardage by the senior signal caller. White Bear Lake, they definitely need to make a stop on this. They cannot let Eagan get into the end zone.
Coming up on the 10th play of this drive, Mike Cook, and this is against this offense. You let them have 10, 12, 13 play drives, which the the Bears already have. It's going to be a long night.
Straight ahead. And minimal pickup that time. Give him 1, maybe 2 that time by Gage. But actually, it's going to be enough to move the sticks. They're going to actually spot him down at the 16-yard line.
Unlucky that time for Charlie Woodcock for the Bears. He did a nice job, 44. Watch him as he comes and makes the big tackle right there on Gage, but unfortunately Gage's momentum was pushing him forward. Woodcock did a nice job of squeezing down with his shoulders square, taking on Gage, but Gage just a little too much momentum.
Set it downs, Wildcats in the red zone again. Brooklyn Evans. Brooklyn Evans falls forward, number 11 to the 11. Pickup of about 5 by the junior. Turner with the stop that time for White Bear.
Well, at this point, if you're the Bears, you really need that stop, because at present, you haven't been able to stop the Wildcat offense, and if they get the ball first in the second half, you might find yourself down by 3 scores really quick.
Right. Gage straight ahead. 3rd and about 1 upcoming, and we've got a late flag on that far side. Is it going to be on the Bears, or will it be on the Wildcat receiver on that? Or that was Ison on the far side. He and one of the Bears continued to hit one another. I don't know if we can catch it on the top of the screen. There's Gage for what would be close to a first down.
Now watch the top right corner. Yeah, you're not going to see it there on that shot, but see who it's going to hit.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been Morris, but I can't say that with certainty. I thought he had a 3 for his first number.
It's a dead ball personal foul, so it's going to be 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Down to inside the 5. Clock stops with $1:20 to go, opening half. It's the first penalty of this football game for either squad, and it's a big one. From the 4. Pyle moves. Pyle gets 2. Almost the blue paint. Officials right there. Anthony Highbury, he's looking for the positive call, number 80 in blue.
And he's going to be short. Yep. Timeout here for the Wild. Well, check it.
White Bear
Lake.
wisely taking a timeout. Wow, and that replay, I think Gage might have got in. Let's go to the officials in New York on that one for a replay.
Is it New York or Toronto
No,
or
whatever? Yeah.
Secaucus?
But again, Charlie Woodcock had the tackle, but again, he kind of got dragged that last little bit. Bottom line is Gage picks up 3. And it's Schwam time. 1 yard quarterback plunge upcoming.
Well, you certainly like his chances given what we've seen this season so far, but the Wildcats have found ways into the end zone this year that we hadn't anticipated coming into the season, and it might be a time for a little play action pass. Who knows?
You know what? I know one person who really wants Schwam to score. His name is Cale Korger. He's a 7th grade wide receiver from Fall Creek, Wisconsin, checking in tonight. So, Cale, let's see if Schwam can get you another touchdown here. Big fan of Carson Schwam's, I was told. Schwam, there you go, Cale. Oh, are they going to give him in? Thought he got in. There it is, 6 points, Eagan.
At first I thought maybe his left knee was down, but his left knee was down in the blue paint. Watch this here. Yeah, the left knee looks like it hits the blue paint. So if the left knee hits the blue paint and the ball's in his hands, then by power of deduction, you can assume that the ball broke the plane. But in any event, we have a touchdown.
That drive, by the way, 6 minutes, 51 seconds off the clock. Hansen puts it up. Hansen puts it.
I think we have do we have a penalty?
Must have had a penalty. Offsides, White Bear Lake. I didn't see the flag. I was looking at both officials under the goalpost, and neither one of them made a signal. So Cats are coming off the field.
So what's interesting is,
do you take the 1, or the White Bear Lake defense is staying out?
Yeah. So the officials are saying, Mike, it's a dead ball foul. In other words, the play can't just count. This isn't like the NFL where you can just count the point after and do something like that. So so the ball moves half the distance to the goal, and now the Wildcat offense is. I think
they're going for 2. Cats are gathered around offensive coordinator Mark Henderson. Head coach Nick Johnson was just outside that huddle.
They are going for 2.
They are going to go for 2. I like this call.
No, it's smart. It's a good idea, especially when you get the ball first and second half.
Well, and you've been moving the ball so well. Schwam, Gage. Number 2, did he get 2? He did. 22-7 Wildcats.
I think that's the right play. Statistically, it's smart for if you're on the 3, that's one thing. If you're on the 1.5, you can get there. Nice push, that right side of that line. Just a nice job of pushing it in and crashing down. I think I could have scored from there.
That was a nice job of crashing down.
Yes.
We're going with that, Mr. Nathan Cron. Come on, man.
Yes, it was.
Come on. So, yeah, hey, congratulations. Like I said, the Wildcats 22-7. You mentioned Cale Korger. Dan Schultz, another friend of the Schwamps. He's checking in from Wisconsin tonight. Becky, she's checking in from Omaha. Of course, Trisha Burback's mom, our token Nebraskan. And Wally, hey, man, Wally, we miss you here in Wildcat country, and I know your Gator card is waiting for you when you get ready to come back. I know you're checking us out. Phil and Carol Hopp, they're checking in from Burnsville, grandparents of Hans Anderson, and the rest of Team Anderson in Michigan checking in tonight as well. So glad you're with us here on ETV, both near and far. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast of your loved ones here, up by a 22-7 count. Well, White Bear Lake, they've got 2 timeouts, 45 seconds. They connected on a long pass for their score. They've got the wind at their back here. Ryan Bartlett, their coach, is also their offensive coordinator. So starting from their own 39-yard line. They sure look like they're going to throw this one. Actually, they're going to hand it off. Lipscomb, he's got a hole. He's got plenty of hole. There's another one. Nice run down to the Wildcat 38-yard line. 23 yards for number 28. Actually, I'm going to say 22 because they're going to put him at the 39. So White Bear 39 to the Eagan 39. Give him the ball again. That quick little burst picks up 5 more. Clock down to 24 seconds. Timeout taken on the field, presumably by White Bear, and we are correct on that. We've seen this quick strike offense from the Bears.
Well, we've seen it once already tonight. We might be seeing it again here. The Wildcats, I don't think, that kickoff did not go quite as deep as they would have liked. They would have liked it to go another 10, 15 yards down the field. Bears didn't have that far to go, but if Lipscomb can do that on the ground, they don't need to put it in the air, Mike. And even though they only have one timeout left, I have to confess, I did not see the White Bear Lake place kicker in warm-ups. I don't know if he can kick from what his range might be, but in any event, getting some points on the board here would be huge for the Bears.
Hey, real quick opportunity. I want to congratulate Eagan's Kassan Lee state tennis tournament. Got to the finals today. Unfortunately, fell to a girl from Rochester, Mayo, 6-5, 6-0 in the final. But Kassan Lee, second place, state AA tennis.
That's a fantastic
Congratulations to that young lady.
It is.
White Bear Lake from the 34. And that ball is caught near side, staying in bounds down to the 21 is the reception by number 10, Vinny Villela. That's a pickup of about, I believe, 15, or no, 9 yards pickup on that one. Another throw, similar play, similar result. Down inside the 15. It's a pickup of about 4, maybe 5, as we're down to 7 seconds to go. Got to go to the end zone here, don't you?
Well, Bears still have a timeout. If they run the ball, I don't know. If they run the ball and get down quickly, they could call a timeout.
Yeah. But it's got to be a quick play. You only got 7 seconds.
It has to be a quick play. This is kind of a no man's land. Whatever they choose here, as long as they're smart about it, they'll save a field goal chance, do something to be able to put some points on the board.
Mashan looking to throw. Going to go across the middle. He's got his man. Villela, I believe he got it. Yes, he did. Touchdown, White Bear Lake. 1 second left in the half. Huge, huge trio of catches there by that young man.
Oh, that's real quality. That's real quality to catch the ball 3 times in a row. Defense really should know it's coming, and they didn't that time. What a catch. Coverage wasn't bad, and he knew he was going to take a lick at the end. Big play for the Bears.
Huge play. PAT to get him back within 7. Cats say he missed it, so do the officials. That is a huge miss, because actually I forgot the Cats went for 2. Cats at the half. It's a 2-score game. 22-13, Eagan Wildcats over the White Bear Lake Bears. An entertaining first half here in an opening round Class 6A football playoff game. You see the Wildcats, they head off to their locker room. White Bear Lake will be doing the same off the far side. We're going to take ourselves a break as well. You're watching Wildcat football on Eagan TV.
Today we're doing the annual Cats vs. Cops, where we play a 7-on-7 game against the Cops here in Eagan.
This was actually an idea a couple years ago of our police chief, Roger New. He said we should play a touch football game, and him and our former president, Jack Esser, made this happen.
Myself and another community member, Jack Esser, were thinking of ways to try to bring the community together, and he said, would you be interested in playing flag football against a high school team before the season kicked off? And I said, yeah, why not? And 3 years later, here we are.
Just an opportunity for us to give back to the community, get a chance to connect with our local police officers and the way they've been able to do stuff for the community for us. It's just for us to have some fun out there and play what we do on Friday nights with them.
One of the most important parts about this event is just trying to bring the community together. We never knew that it was going to grow to this extent, but we're glad that we could just be part of this event, and we just appreciate the community support.
Our police force is awesome, and for us to be able to do this with them, I think is just, it shows that they're looking for ways to be out in the community. So we come together and we play 7-on-7, and we have a blast out there. I love anything we can do to build that relationship.
They do so much for us, so it's a great way to give back to them, and you know, it's a night for them to take off doing their duties as police officers and enjoy being a high schooler like we are and having some fun playing some football.
We're the Eagan Wildcats, but like we're all Eagan. We're all one team. It's a great event and it's a lot of fun.
A small area plan offers us a formal method to look at a particular area in detail. We're looking at not just the here and now, but we're looking at the past and the future, 20 or 40 years into the future. In this case, it's the area around Eagan Central Park. So the Unisys building, the former Delta building, and the former Argosy University building. Together, that comprise about 79 acres and over 731,000 square feet of office space. Because of the current state of the office market, we have high office vacancies in the Twin Cities and really across the nation. So likely what will happen here is that the sites will be redeveloped for different uses. The goals in creating the plan are to collect data, public input, and City Council direction, and use those to communicate the city's vision to potential site purchasers and developers. We've completed the first phase of public engagement. It included print and social media outreach, a digital survey, and 2 events at the Eagan Community Center. It even included an event with 132 4th and 5th graders at Pilot Knob STEM Elementary School. This was such a fun event, and the first time we've done outreach at an elementary school for a planning project. We are beginning our second phase of community engagement. It will include an interactive survey that summarizes everything the planning team has learned, shares the concepts presented to the City Council, and collects community feedback. The planning team will be at Market Fest on July 19th and August 16th to answer questions and collect input. Over 500 people responded to the first digital survey. Feedback from in-person events seemed that people were excited to see the concepts and looking forward to participating in the second phase of public engagement. The concept plans are a visual representation of what we've learned about the site, the market, and community needs. The concept plans are not intended to be a choice between 3 distinct options, but an a la carte menu of possibilities. The concept plans are a visual tool to help us communicate site opportunities to the community. The final plan will most likely have elements of 2 or more concepts. Join us in shaping the future of the area around Eagan Central Park. Visit the city's website for more information.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches? Ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
I'll see y'all. got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ?
Alright, it's cool.
I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon. Game back to game.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Do you want to go grab some frozen yogurt tonight?
Maybe another time. Thanks, though.
Hey, Charles, how do you like your burger?
Ooh, well done, I hope. I love this tree. Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour.
Come on, sit down.
Okay, guys, what do you think? That is you.
Oh, you got jokes. You're funny.
That is you, and that is your son, and your other son. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Today we're doing the annual Cats vs. Cops, where we play a 7-on-7 game against cops here in Eagan.
This was actually an idea a couple years ago of our police chief, Roger New. He said we should play a touch football game, and him and our former president, Jack Esser, made this happen.
Myself and another community member, Jack Esser, were thinking of ways to try to bring the community together, and he said, would you be interested in playing flag football against a high school team before the season kicked off? And I said, yeah, why not? And 3 years later, here we are.
Just an opportunity for us to get back to the community, get a chance to connect with our local police officers and the way they've been able to do stuff for the community for us. It's just for us to have some fun out there and play what we do on Friday nights with them.
One of the most important parts about this event is just trying to bring the community together. We never knew that it was going to grow to this extent, but we're glad that we could just be part of this event, and we just appreciate the community support.
Our police force is awesome, and for us to be able to do this with them, I think is just, it shows that they're looking for ways to be out in the community. So we come together and we play 7-on-7, and we have a blast out there. I love anything we can do to build that relationship.
They do so much for us, so it's a great way to give back to them, and you know, it's a night for them to take off doing their duties as police officers and enjoy being a high schooler like we are and having some fun playing some football.
We're the Eagan Wildcats, but like we're all Eagan. We're all one team. It's a great event and it's a lot of fun.
A small area plan offers us a formal method to look at a particular area in detail. We're looking at not just the here and now, but we're looking at the past and the future, 20 or 40 years into the future. In this case, it's the area around Eagan Central Park. So the Unisys building, the former Delta building, and the former Argosy University building. Together, that comprises about 79 acres and over 731,000 square feet of office space. Because of the current state of the office market, we have high office vacancies in the Twin Cities and really across the nation. So likely what will happen here is that the sites will be redeveloped for different uses. The goals in creating the plan are to collect data, public input, and City Council direction, and use those to communicate the city's vision to potential site purchasers and developers. We've completed the first phase of public engagement. It included print and social media outreach, a digital survey, and 2 events at the Eagan Community Center. It even included an event with 132 4th and 5th graders at Pilot Knopp STEM Elementary School. This was such a fun event, and the first time we've done outreach at an elementary school for a planning project. We are beginning our second phase of community engagement. It will include an interactive survey that summarizes everything the planning team has learned, shares the concepts presented to City Council, and collects community feedback. The planning team will be at Market Fest on July 19th and August 16th to answer questions and collect input. Over 500 people responded to the first digital survey. Feedback from in-person events seemed that people were excited to see the concepts and looking forward to participating in the second phase of public engagement. The concept plans are a visual representation of what we've learned about the site, the market, and community needs. The concept plans are not intended to be a choice between 3 distinct options, but an a la carte menu of possibilities. The concept plans are a visual tool to help us communicate site opportunities to the community. The final plan will most likely have elements of 2 or more concepts. Join us in shaping the future of the area around Eagan Central Park. Visit the city's website for more information.
I'll see y'all. I got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Welcome you back inside Wildcat Country. We're at the half. It's the Eagan Wildcats 22, White Bear Lake Bears 13 in this opening round Class 6A playoff matchup. He's Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. Happy to be with you. As it is, look at some of the first half highlights. Schwam are going to hang on to that football for the Wildcats, and then Tate Gage, I believe it's the one who takes it in. Tate's got 1 score. Carson Schwam's got a couple for the Wildcats. Iceland in the defense. Really good until that last White Bear Lake drive as we watch there's the Gage touchdown.
I will say what we've seen tonight, though, if I'm playing defense, you see the touchdown there by the Bears.
That was right at the last play of the first half. Yeah. So
what I have seen tonight from the Bears, though, is if I can, Lipscomb scares me more than their passing game so far.
100%.
And so if you can take away Lipscomb and say, fine, if you guys want to beat us by throwing the ball 20 times in the second half, so be it.
Again, let's take a look at the brackets and see here. updated scores. Eden Prairie only up 28. We're assuming that's a 28-0. And then Forest Lake over Wayzata. Coon Rapids led that game 6-0 until midway through the second quarter, where Fort North finally scored, and they got the extra points. So 7-6 there. Panthers taking on the Cardinals. Cardinals who took Farmington to overtime that last game of the year, which we thought might mean something here. And then Coon Rapids dropped the pass for 2, lost by 1. There was some concern that might cost the Cats a home playoff game, but lo and behold, it did not. And here we are with White Bear Lake at Eagan in a battle of 3 and 5 teams. Cranking on a little bit, living on a prayer. You had the Do the Wildcat up on the scoreboard. Good turnout by the pit tonight. Blackout is the theme.
Regardless of who wins and loses this football game, you're going to have a group of seniors that a vast majority of which will never play football again. And so it matters and it means something to all of these guys in white, all of these guys in blue. As you see the Wildcats knocking off the halftime stiffness.
Good way to put it. Hey, I want to mention they honored a lot of some of the student athletes. It's only college now, student athletes. Anyway, here at halftime, the girls soccer team, we talked about them in the first half, where they lost in the section final, unfortunately. Eagan girls cross country team, they are the section champs. Participating up at the state meet, Lila Bartels, Lauren Berger, Morgan Becker, Abby Davidson, Adeline North, Lucy Schoen, Noah Shervin, and Lucy Turfler, Ella Walters as well, part of that team. That state meet is November 4th. New this year, it's up at Les Bolstad Golf Course at the U of M. So the Eagan girls cross country, they are the Section 3 champs. And a couple of boys qualified for the state cross country meet. Noah Daniel and Liam Frank will be racing for Eagan in the boys races. So good luck to all those runners. Oh, I got to give a shout out too that I was kind of forgot about it. We've talked about them throughout the year, but the Chain Gang, we've not given them the credit they deserve, as we're sort of told. Trisha Burback, Matt Stoke, Pat Dorsey, Sean Reese. It's the Chain Gang this year here in Wildcat Country. And, you know, Trisha, she's such a good sport about everything. I told her we'd give her some love up here tonight. So the secretary is of the Eagan Ladder Crew. So, of course, the Ladder Crew, Josh Anderson, the leader, they all do a wonderful job supporting this program, as do all of our sponsors. Again, up and down the board, plenty of support here in Eagan. And I can't say with certainty, but, you know, White Bear Lake, I'm sure, has a ton of support as well from their local businesses and some of their civic leaders up there in White Bear.
Yeah, it's a proud community with a long history and tradition on whether you're on the ice, on the court, or on the field.
I know White Bear Lake you mentioned on the ice, and I think that first Friday in March, you pretty much book your tickets for Aldrich Arena for that Hill Murray White Bear Lake boys section final. Had the privilege of seeing a couple of those in a packed Aldrich Arena. Some of the best high school hockey you get to see is those section finals. But right now it only feels like it's hockey weather out there. It's getting right down to Wildcats are going to just catch that little pooch kick at the 37, and that was with the wind, by the way.
I think that was a low risk play there by the Bears to do a good job of making sure that the Wildcats didn't get a big return, but also if the Wildcats were napping, there was a chance that the Bears were going to jump on that.
And Gabe Jellin catches that football for the Wildcats.
Nicely done.
Take over at their own 37-yard line. Speaking of hockey, I believe Jellin's a hockey player too. Straight ahead, here goes Gage, cuts to the outside. Nice pickup by Gage down to the 42-yard line. Give him 21 on the opening play of the second half. Tate Gage, the junior. Very nice job of cutting outside after that. Looked like he was able to go up the middle, and that quickly shut down.
Oh, what great push. What a magnificent push by the offensive line. You know, Gage finishes that run off, but you got to call it out. Cole Meyer with a great block that sealed the backer or nose to the inside.
Schwam, he'll keep it. He'll go around left end. It's 4, 5, maybe 6 before he gets pushed out of bounds. I believe that was Malik Doumbia coming over to do the honors for White Bear Lake, number 14. Pickup of, looks like they're going to spot it at the 35. So we'll call that a pickup of 6 by Carson Schwam, the Eagan signal caller, the entire game tonight. We had said he and Brooklyn Evans have shared a lot of quarterbacking duties this year for the Wildcats, but it's been all Schwam thus far. 17 in blue leading the way. Schwam keeps it. Can he get through the hole? Nice job. Got cut off on that far side by White Bear. It might have been Morris on the stop. But again, Schwam, he nearly able to turn that one up and go to the house. Look at how close he came. Actually, take that back. 15 Gibson on the stop for White Bear Lake. It is enough to move the sticks, however. First down at the 31-yard line.
Quick start here for the Wildcats, Mike. It's granted they were playing on a relatively short field, but they're already close to the red zone.
We're just a minute into the second half. Again, 22-13 Wildcats. Schwam, pitch, Eisen, 25-20, try to cut back in. It's a few extra yards. Madden Eisen to the 10. That's 20 tough yards by number 20. They got to give Schwam a lot of credit on that play. He played that perfectly.
Well, Schwam really held on to that ball as he went around the left side. Watch the maintain of the pitch relationship. He holds and holds and holds, gets 12 to commit, and then Eisen does a nice job. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He looks like he gets about 7 yards after contact. Nicely done.
19 yards they're going to say in the game. The ball spotted at the 12, not the 11.
It's like the Wildcats didn't even have halftime, Mike Cook.
Gage, offensive line, Meyer and company just pushing White Bear back. 5 yards on first down for the Wildcats. You know, that Eagan offensive line has gotten better all year, but we have not seen them play this well as a unit. I think we can safely say that.
Yeah, they're as a unit, they are definitely across the board having success. Some of that has to do with the fact that I think the White Bear defensive lines, I think they're a little worn down after the first half.
The ball is read very well that time by White Bear. I believe first man in was Gerald Wright, number 99, the nose tackle.
And just like that, the White Bear, the Bears say to me, tired you say. It's like, or as we say in soccer, that's the commentator's curse. You say something and of course somebody will immediately do something to prove you wrong.
Nearly 3 minutes gone by, second half. Opening drive of the final 2 quarters is underway by the Eagan Wildcats. Fumbled snap, Schwam. That's the second time tonight and about that same spot on the field where Schwam has just had to fall on a football off the fumbled snap. Last one we thought he might have maybe pulled out a little bit earlier. That one he had it in his hands. That was just a misplay, but he was right there just before Woodcock could get there for White Bear.
This is interesting. The Wildcats have 4 yards to go. Fourth and 4 from the 6-yard line.
Jack Hansen not in for the field goal attempt. Or are you trying to draw the Bears off? No, you're not. Schwam. Brooklyn Evans, 6 points, Eagan. There is a late flag. I believe it's going to be after the play. Came from the official on the far side. Seems like it would be one of those where it's a personal foul. But
Wildcats are trotting off the field like the offense is trotting off the field like they think this is against the Bears.
We'll get the official signal as we look at the replay of Evans scoring. Personal foul, face mask, White Bear. Cats obviously not going to accept that. 6 yards. Wildcats go up 28-13. Personal foul, face back again. There's the official signal. Thanks. They're saying they're going to take it on the kickoff. Well, now do the Cats go for 2? Because if you go for the 1, that puts you up 16. It's still a 2-score game. You get the 2, you're up 17.
You might as well go for 2.
Absolutely.
You might as well go for 2 here and try to make it a 3-score game.
3-score game.
Now, what's interesting is that the penalty is not going to be taken here on the PAT. It's going to be taken, which would have been half the distance. It's going to be taken on the kickoff.
Right.
I'd take it right here. Give myself an extra yard and a half closer.
Being it's a dead ball foul, do you get that choice, though?
I don't know. Good question.
Gage, did he get there? Cats say, no, it went on the far side. That was Schwam. Schwam with the 2-pointer. Again, myself and White Bear Lake thought it was Gage. 30-13 Wildcats.
That is how you come out of into the second half and start quickly for the Wildcats. The Bears had wrested control of the momentum here late in the first half. And the Wildcats putting their foot down, saying not in our house, at least not in the third quarter. I mean, what an impressive drive.
Absolutely.
Granted, a relatively short field. I mean, that drive started on the Wildcat 37, but still a nice play, nice drive.
And for the Wildcats, you mentioned it, Nathan, that's a drive really you had to have to get some momentum back on your side. Is White Bear scored that touchdown as the first half ended, drove quickly down the field. You know, again, is it one of those, do you go, woe is me, or do you come out and, you know, punch him in the mouth, so to speak, and the Cats punched him in the mouth. Coleman into kick. Do you just kick this one out of the end zone?
I think he's going to do the same thing he normally does, a little directional kick. And
that's what I'm thinking too.
Put pressure on the Bears.
And that ball is going to be caught at about the 7. Lipscomb opportunity. No, that's not Lipscomb this time. Got so used to Lipscomb returning those kicks. Actually, this time it's Isaac Try that again. Kibagendi. Kibagendi. Bottom line, White Bear Lake down by 17. Will start at their own 20-yard line. I would say a must-score drive for the Bears.
Yeah, huge for the Bears. Although if from the Wildcats, they got to watch out for that passing attack now.
The wind is at their back, and that's about a 4-yard pickup on first down. That'll be Lipscomb.
I think something to keep in mind here, though, if you are the Bears, is you don't have to get it all. Look, you can't score 3 touchdowns in one drive. You get one drive, score a touchdown, get the ball back, try it again. It doesn't matter how many you score if your defense isn't going to stop them. So you might as well just make sure you get your touchdown now, or you're going to have a real problem moving forward.
And they'll run it once again. Ozzie Cooper, first man in for the Wildcats. Pick up 2, maybe 3 that time for White Bear Lake. Saw number 37 in there for the Wildcats. He's that sophomore linebacker, Brant Harrison. First time we've called Brant's name tonight. So give him about 3 on that carry.
33. Bears 27.
Big play for the Bears. A lot of receivers to play with on this one. Rolling, got a man across the middle. And that is a complete pass, far side. Number 13, that's Easton Miles, his first catch of the night for White Bear. With the sophomore coming up with the big catch. That'll get the ball out near the 36-yard line.
A nice pass, nice pitch and catch.
And they're going to go to the air once again. Maybe. Wow, sloppy tackling there, and White Bear's going to get an extra, probably 13 yards on that play. Villela, number 10, he got the touchdown earlier tonight.
All the defensive back had to do was frame up. Look, he jumped. The wide receiver jumped so high. Villela, watch how high he jumps. He's not going anywhere. if the defensive back just breaks down and wraps him up, he's done right there. Instead, it's a pickup of 13.
From the Eagan side of midfield go the Bears. A little confusion in the backfield. And minimal pickup that time. I believe it's Eagan on the stop. First man there for the Eagan Wildcats. Might have been, actually check that, might have been Eagan there. I think Owen Ford came in on the stop as well for the Cats. Pickup of maybe 1.
Wildcats are rotating defensive linemen. We've seen Sweedock in there. We've got Hans Anderson in there. We've got guys, different guys are rotating around to give the Wildcats some fresh legs.
Going to the air again. Good pressure by the Wildcats. That ball was chipped, I believe, at the line by number 37. Again, that's Brandt, or Harrison Brandt. I think I called him Brandt Harrison last time. It's Harrison Brandt. My apologies to the Harrison Brandt fan club.
Watch this. Brandt with an athletic play. Look at this. Gets up, gets a big mid on it. Nicely done. Breaks it up, and that was a well set up middle screen as all 3 defensive linemen were charging hard in on the quarterback, and yet because of Brandt's play, now it's 3rd down and long.
Nemeshan, you think, is going to have to go to the air once again for White Bear. 3 receivers left, 1 right. And they're looking left. Dangerous throw, but it is complete. Nice defensive play by the Eagan Wildcats. Heinlein was there for the Wildcats. Ethan Moss gets down to the 41, or Miles, I should say, to the 41-yard line. 4th and a long 2.
Watch Heinlein here. Look at him break down. You see him throttled down. He slowed down, chopped his feet, rolled his hips, wrapped his arms. Nicely done.
Give Adam Dorsey the credit. He actually made the hit. I thought it was Heinlein initially, but Dorsey came flying in from his secondary spot.
Well, ditto Dorsey there. It was really nice.
4th and 2. Bears, air. Bears, incomplete. Great flag coming in from the near side. I think this drive is going to stay alive.
The drive is going to stay alive. I think that's going to be pass interference on the Wildcats. It's a close play, no question about that. Wildcats sideline not happy. Watch the right side of your screen. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah.
He got there early, but you can contact the receiver.
Right.
What you can't do is interfere, and I think it's fair to say he definitely made contact before the ball got there. The question is, was there any interference, or was he simply just touching him?
Yep.
I don't know the answer to that. Referee obviously says, nope, we got a pass interference call.
I believe first penalty of the night against the Wildcats. To the 26-yard line, drive stays alive for the Bears. A huge break for the visitors. And that ball is going to be docked away, incomplete on the far side. Cooper on the coverage for the Wildcats from his linebacker spot. Saw Bennett Larson over there and Heinlein over to give kudos right away. I think the Wildcats realize they've seen that play a few times now tonight for White Bear.
They sure have.
And you got to keep a guy on 10. Down to 4, just over 4.5 to go in the 3rd. Fake pump, throw across the middle. Gibson down to the 12-yard line for White Bear Lake. Pickup of 14. Sticks are going to move once again for the Bears.
That was a well-executed play. They did the RPO, the run-pass option. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure if it was a true run-pass option. Watch the fake there to Lipscomb, and all of a sudden, over the top, Gibson using his body to get between the ball and the defensive back. It was just a well-executed pop pass.
Yeah, Bennett Larson had to come back, make that stop for the Wildcats. Lipscomb straight ahead. Yeah, down to, give him 3, maybe 4. Off the bottom of that pile, Eisen for the Wildcats. White Bears sure seem like they're going to take advantage of this opportunity given to them as they are down inside the 10.
Wildcats really need to do something here to kind of flip the momentum. Bears really moving the ball well.
Air across the middle. Touchdown White Bear Lake. Gibson once again. Delayed call by the officials, but the arms do go in the air. That's his 2nd of the night. Yeah, just like that, it's 30-19. Yeah, that play has been there over the middle. Has pretty much been there all night.
The linebackers either have to get deeper or get their arms up. Now they're going for 2 here. I'm not sure why, because they're down by 11.
Yeah, well, it gets you within 9, and then I suppose if you think you can get within 8, I'm sure there's some math and logic involved somewhere. And straight ahead, they do get the 2 on the run that time by Aikens. Aiden Aikens, number 12. Well, this one's far from over, folks, with 3:38 to go in the third. 30-21 Wildcats.
Well, it's all academic if you make the 2-point conversion, but it seemed like, given that you know you're going to have to score again, why not wait until you have to go for 2 or have to do something like that, as opposed to just kicking the extra point? Because it's still a 3-score game. Even if you hit 2 touchdowns with 2 extra points, you were down by 17, so you'll still need 3 scores.
Yeah.
So it just seemed to me that why not just kick the extra point? But in any event,
well, I think if let's say Eagan scores again, only goes for the kick, it's 37, then you're down by 16.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can play the what if and who and what and when, and which is our job to do.
Yeah, that's what we get to do up here. But in any event, the Bears, wow, what an answer for the Bears.
Absolutely.
Really impressed by that answer.
Absolutely. Speaking of impressive, let's talk about our crew that we've got working here tonight. The award-winning Eagan TV crew.
Award-winning Eagan TV crew headed by Josh Sibley, Dalton Gruber, Tim Shinyon, Jared Greenberg, Connor Philippi, Ken Trainer, can't read my own writing, and Kirk Votel. Thanks so much for making us look and sound so good here on ETV. You guys really are a community asset.
I want to give our camera folks credit. They're out there in the elements right now. They came in at halftime in the box, and there was some shivering. They're glad to get the heat. Wildcats. Ison picks it up east-west. Now he turns it north-south. Ison, can he get a seam? And there's a late flag coming back in. And we've got a Wildcat down on the turf at the 35. Appears to be in quite a bit of pain.
We've got a Bear down. We've got a Wildcat down. We've got a flag down. Everything's hitting the turf.
Look at Ison. Nice job. He might have went further east-west than he did north-south on that run. Here's that White Bear touchdown.
Watch Gibson there. He's on the right side of your screen. Number 5. Well, actually, we're not going to see that replay.
Trust us. He cut across the middle and was there. You can't get the number of the Wildcat that's down, and the White Bear player is up on the far side. It's like getting off. There's the block in the back. Penalty on the Wildcats. The Wildcats are going to take over at their own. They're still marching back. It's like the 15-yard line they're going to stop. Felt kind of like the Price is Right mountain climber game there. It was kind of like, where do they stop? Anyway.
Well, and of course, it's 10 yards. I think 10 yards from the spot of the infraction.
Correct.
So unlucky that time. Ison made such a nice play there.
There's Brandt, by the way, coming off. We mentioned him. Sophomore linebacker. Let's see if we can pick up where the infraction might have occurred.
Watch the left side of your screen. I don't think that's it.
Got to be right up in here.
Oh, there, yeah. Right there. Yeah, yep.
That's pretty obvious.
Yep, you pushed him in the back.
Up by 9. The Cats take over deep in their own end. And pick up about 4 on first down. Again, Eagan yet to put the football in the air tonight.
Well, you keep saying that like you're disappointed by it, but I think Coach Nick Johnson, I think he's happy about that.
Oh, he is. Oh, if you talk to NJ, if he doesn't throw the football in a game, that's like, having a beverage at a hockey game. We're not going to use that one?
You said beverage. Beverage is fine.
Okay. Straight ahead, Cats, Gage. 33-yard line, picks up 14. Kind of answer the Wildcats need to have.
If you're picking this up on the feed or anything, folks, but every time the Wildcats are getting a first down, there's a big Wildcat growl or whatever. I like it. I think it's pretty sweet.
It's interesting. I just looked down at the stands. Of course, the pit, they're all on their feet. The adults are all sitting down. First down and plenty more, Wildcats. Brooklyn Evans that time for the Wildcats. That was from the 32 to the 40. Are they going to spot that one?
I'm saying he stepped out.
Say he stepped out.
10-yard gain, first down, but he stepped out somewhere there before he ran another. Gee whiz, he went another almost 10 yards.
Exactly.
So
that was my thought.
So you are much forgiven, Mike Cook, for one thinking that ball might have been another 10 yards further downfield.
Schwam, pitch, Eisen, midfield, a little bit more. Finally knocked out of bounds by number 14 for White Bear. That's Malik Doumbia, and he's a little slow to get up, but kind of little left arm potential problem there, but he's up. Pretty good hit he laid out on Eisen, but Eisen, that kid is, he's, what's the saying about built like a,
Built like a linebacker?
No, I was thinking a brick something, but yeah, anyway.
That too.
Yeah, that too. But 8 yards that time. Carson Schwam. First down, Wildcats. Boy, we've said that a lot tonight.
Well, the Bears' offense has come to play here in the second half. They put one in before halftime, and they've got one now in the second half. It's the Bears' defense that really needs to step up here, Mike Cook. The Bears' defense needs to step up and give their offense a chance to try to climb back into this football game. The only way it's going to happen is if they can force a turnover, stop the Cats on downs, understanding that and we've got a penalty flag.
Checking out, see how many cats were in the huddle.
Well, I don't think anybody came out. I think we might have it came from the far side, the White Bear Lake sideline. I wonder if we're going to get a sideline penalty.
Sideline infraction, yep.
Oh, it's
just a warning.
I think that's the warning. So a sideline infraction warning. So it's as if nothing happened, but the next time I think it'll be some sort of penalty. If you've never played this sport, ladies and gentlemen, you know how hard it is to keep all those boys off that sideline. It's amazing.
Gage! 6 points, Eagan!
44 yards, touchdown.
44 yards, Tate Gage.
Well, just when you say the Bears defense needs to step up, it's Tate Gage that takes over and decides to slam this one into the end zone. There's still a quarter of football to play, but it's 36-21, PAT pending. I think the Wildcats are going to go for 2 here, Mike Cook.
3 tackles he broke on that run. The Cats up by 15.
They want to go back up by 17, I think, to make this a 3-score game.
Absolutely. Well, this is why White Bear went for 2, I think, last time down. Cats missed this. You're 15.
Cats attempt the 2-point conversion.
Can the Cats get the 2? Yes, they can. Eisen. Untouched. 38 for the Eagan Wildcats. 21 White Bear Lake Bears. 49 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Eisen with the 2-point PAT. That's a nice tendency breaker as well. They fake the dive one way and then they give Eisen the pitch out. Everybody's thinking that Gage is going to get that ball, maybe that they're going to run option to that side. Instead, Eisen goes back the other way and really opens things up to the wide side of the field. That was a smart tendency breaker, and now the Bears are really behind the 8 ball, Mike Cook.
100% they are. As we said, both teams 3-5 coming in. White Bear won 3 of 4 coming in, including their last 2. Beat Roseville 10-7 in week 7, and then 28-21 thriller against Osseo a week ago. Cats had lost 4 straight, running that gauntlet of a schedule they had. They had the 2 Lakevilles in there. Forest Lake was here. They were at Farmington. Lost 4 in a row in that stretch, and you kind of had to start thinking, boy, maybe some questions. But Nick Johnson said this team never really doubted itself Didn't see any of that. They came back, they hammered Eastview, which they should do, and they did, as White Bear Lake with an opportunity. They'll start it again at about their own 34-yard line. Then you got, 8 days between games, and Wildcats, they look very well rested, very fine-tuned at this point of this football game.
We were talking about the Bears defense. The Wildcat defense has the opportunity here. They can be a little aggressive, Mike. With a 3-score margin right now, the Wildcat defense does not have to play tentative. They don't have to be careful. They just have to do their jobs and arrive at the football with wild abandon. That's what they've got to do. And they've got to, this is a situation where the Wildcat defense can be aggressive and try to go for a takeaway. Strip that ball, do something like that, and really put a nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Don't get me wrong, a takeaway would be great. Coverage would be better initially. And that's a good stop right there. Ozzie Cooper and company. Although it's still a nice second, third effort by Keyshawn there, number 28. Got maybe 3 yards on that play. But we've seen White Bear Lake just throw those little 6, 7-yard, 10-yard passes where the guys have been pretty much wide open. I think the Cats have got to be very, very aware of that, especially. As I was saying, going forward, Russell's down Villela, but that's going to be a first down, White Bear Lake.
Yeah, I think the Bears have found something. They're definitely seeing that the linebackers, the Wildcat linebackers, are not getting either deep enough, or the defensive secondary are not rallying quickly enough, and they're going to keep exploiting that. And why not? Because it's fourth quarter time, and they've got nothing to lose.
Absolutely, fourth quarter time. Again, 38 Eagan Wildcats, 21 for the White Bear Lake Bears. Again, winner of this one next week. Very, very tall task. You're going to head up to Eden Prairie, take on the top-ranked, undefeated Eden Prairie Eagles. The last we heard, they were up, 28-0 in their game. I'm sure that's going to be one of those that I would think running time is probably going to come into play in that one. As they're calling for the dance party here on the scoreboard. The pit starting to get some momentum. How low can they go? Again, blackout, the theme for the pit. It's been an orange out for the White Bear Lake student section. For the, I don't know, what do you got? 25 White Bear Lake students over there in the orange, I'm guessing?
Yeah, they're definitely staring into that stiff northwestern wind. That takes guts, and they're still sticking around, so God bless them. It's not easy.
Yeah, look at the flags on the top of the goalpost.
It's gotten worse, Mike. It's not been better. It's actually gotten worse. And now the Bears are into the teeth of that wind.
Exactly. First and 10, just their side of midfield will go the White Bear Lake Bears. Quarterback keep. And look at Bennett Larson bursting through. All over that plays the junior. That's a loss of 3, they're going to say.
He never gave up. Watch this.
Well, hey, you know what? Henry Heinlein's not going to get credit on this one, on the results, but he was the one that shut off that left side.
Absolutely. That was a group effort. Absolutely.
White Bear Lake airbound. Caught. Far side. Guess who? I believe that's his 6th catch of the night for Villela. Vinny Villela, he's a senior, 5'11", 160 they list him at.
Well, he might be 5'11", 160, but he's playing like he's 7'2", 395. He's playing huge right now for these Bears.
That was a pickup of about 9. 3rd and 6, maybe 5. It's going to be 4th and about 3 for White Bear Lake. Got to go for it if you're the Bears. Larson leads his way in for that Eagan defense. I saw number 93 in there for the Wildcats as well, Desmond Overton. 4th and 2, White Bear.
If you're the Bears, you got to have this.
Absolutely.
So the question becomes, who do you give it to? Hans Anderson running off the field, running onto the field, running off the field. Now he's back on the field.
And Eagan's going to take a timeout.
And I think they should, because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think they've got 12 players on the field.
And that would be a 5-yard infraction, which would be first on White Bear Lake. And you don't want that if you're the Wildcats.
Well, better to make sure that you've got it right the first time. And the Bears here have, the question is, do you find Lipscomb and give it to him and say, you've been such a stud for us all year? Is it Viella? Do you go? Do you do a little RPO and let him run his route to the sticks that he's done so well tonight? I mean, you've got options here if you're the Bears. The question is, what are they going to dial up? Understanding they don't have to get 10 yards, they have to get 3.5, 4.
Not even. 4. I'd say 2 maybe. Just got to get inside the 42, and the ball's at about the 44.
There you go.
And Ryan Bartlett, coach over there for the White Bear Lake Bears. Had a nice chat with him before the game. Incomplete pass. No flags on the play. Cats take over on downs. 10:15 to go. Eagan Wildcats 38. White Bear Lake 21.
That pass was behind the receiver, Mike Cook, but the coverage that time on the outside by the defensive back was very good, right? He was right there. In fact, if anything, there's a possibility that could have been picked off. Yep. And so Bears lucky that it wasn't, and now the Bears are in desperate straits. They need to get this ball back very, very quickly.
It's funny, you were just asking me, I think it was at halftime, when was the last time Eagan won a playoff game? I'm not going there yet. There's that whole jinx thing. Schwam dropped. And a late flag coming in. Is this going to be the face mask area? There were 3 Bears around Schwam. Aiken's among them. Flag was thrown right at that spot. Aiken's talking to the official, just off your top right of your screen. Now he's joined by a couple others. Let's check out the end of this play. Nice job of bursting through.
Yeah, that's going to be a face mask penalty.
Yeah, Evan Chang, by the way, was the man that burst through. Somebody might want to have put a body on Evan. Didn't. YMCA. Come on. YMCA. No, we're good.
No, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. I haven't done that in years, and there are good reasons for that.
Exactly.
But I'm sure at the class of 22 hockey moms watch party, I'm sure they're doing the YMCA right now.
Enjoying what was that beverage you thought they were enjoying?
It's a beverage. I'm just going to say beverage. It's high school sports, Mike. It's just a beverage.
Yeah, okay. I'll just say it starts with a white. Gage. See ya! 6 points. Eagan. 41 yards.
Well, you know that the Bears have worn down when Gage is just, look, he breaks tackles and then he just hits the accelerator, and the Bears just either take bad angles or they just don't have any gas left in the tank. Look at that blocking down the field. One broken tackle, but then after that, there's barely a White Bear defender in the view of the camera until he gets to the end zone.
Again, just a couple of missed tackles there by White Bear. This will be .45 for the Wildcats, assuming Jack Hansen splits the uprights. And he does. Tell you what, Nate the Cron, you could have told me the Cats were going to score 45 tonight. I would have thought you were at that Hockey Mom watch party a little too long.
Well, this offense is not what you would call a high-scoring, high-octane offense, right? It runs the ball, it runs the option, it grinds out the ball. But when Gage can go twice for over 40 yards, I mean, it's flashes of Parker Fall, right? It's flashes of guys taking it to the house with one touch, and so it's you kind of shrug your shoulders and go, well, gee whiz, if the Wildcats are going to keep doing that, then they're going to be a tough team to beat. Now that being said, I think it's fair to say the Eden Prairie Eagles next week, assuming the Wildcats can keep this score, make this score tell and hold, the Eagles next week are going to prove a different challenge, no question, for this offensive line.
And unfortunately, that will not be an ETV broadcast.
No, it will not.
EP's got their own people up there. Actually, I think they do a radio broadcast as well up at EP. I don't 100% that be, but I believe they have a radio deal, but they're on some, I don't know, like an AM band or something. But yeah, Wildcats, unless you get the miracle of miracle, I mean, it's still a 3-score game, you could argue technically. But let's be honest, the Cats are going to be at Eden Prairie next Friday. And we mentioned Tate Gage, 2 touchdowns here in this fourth quarter. I'm going with it now. Last time the Wildcats won a playoff game was, we'll let White Bear start at their 20-yard line. Gus Klunder had a rushing score and a passing score. Travarius Nolan ran for a score. Lincoln Brown hit a field goal. Eagan, 24. Centennial, 21. 2015.
Well, such an important step for this Wildcat program, a Wildcat program that just a few years ago Mike Cook was struggling to score, to get first downs, to even be a credible 6A program, right? And now, they're going to win a playoff game. They're going to win a playoff game, and they're going to defend their home turf, and maybe something funny happens at Eden Prairie.
Quick throw. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you're going to get some extra yardage there. I believe it's going to be 10 officially on the pass, but I think you can tack on another 15. Miles with the catch. This is the one thing you cannot do if you just play smart. Yeah, there's the personal foul, face mask, Wildcats. So a 10-yard game becomes 25.
Yeah, that will be one for the film cutting floor on tomorrow morning when Clark goes and checks out the film and says, yeah, I kind of missed there.
Yeah.
And of course what he's going to say is, well, coach, it's not that I reached for his collar of his pads. I reached for his something else, and then he just managed to jam his pads into my hand.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to say.
White Bear, another quick throw, far side. Yeah, minimal pickup that time. Looks like he might have got 5, maybe 6 actually. Yeah, guess who? Catch number, I believe, 7.
And give big props and a big shout out to both of the cheerleading crews here and the cheerleading team over the White Bear. They're all dressed in white with their orange caps, and the Wildcat cheerleaders in their black get up with their blue and green palms. Thanks so much for you guys and all the people who support the team, whether it's the managers. There you see the cheer team.
Miles once again on the reception. Dorsey, is he going to prevent the first down? I think he did. Nice job by the Wildcat senior. And are they going to? No, they are going to say he's short.
I can hear defensive coach Comer screaming, holding. I'm not sure it was holding, but great credit to Dorsey.
My correction, I called Dorsey a senior as a junior. My apologies. One more year of Mr. Dorsey. They need 1 for the first, and they get more than that. That'll be a pickup of, we'll call it 3. First down at the 43-yard line of Eagan.
Well, Wildcat fans, I hope you're enjoying this because it's been a long time coming since the Wildcats have been in this position. Anytime the Wildcats are up ahead like this, playing well at home, you got to love it.
Again, air, again, catch. Turns, beats his man on the far side. Ford got beat. We got a late flag coming in. Is that going to be a late hit on Kruger? It might be. Well, another catch. His number is 10, and by the time this one's over, he may have at least that many receptions. I think he is at 8 right now. Yeah, it might be more of a face mask, I think, than
I don't know that he gets up to the face mask. Let's see if we can pick it up here in the replay.
Yep. So Ford
there.
misses there. Here comes Kruger, 26.
No,
that's not
a face mask at all. That's not a face mask at all. Are they going to pick this flag up? No, they're not.
Grab the jersey. No, they're going to call the face. No, they're going to call it on White Bear. What? Well, he pointed to White Bear. But the other official looked like he was going to march against Eagan.
Okay, let's see if we can.
Yeah. Is this on the stiff arm on Kruger?
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's great camera work by our award-winning ETV crew.
Absolutely.
To be able to pick that up, now we understand. Now, to be fair, you're allowed to contact the face mask.
Right.
Right. But what you're not allowed to do is twist. Right. Grab it and twist it, which is what he did. I think that's what the referees are going to say.
So back to the 42. First. Good pressure by the Wildcats. Can they get him? They do, back at the 48-yard line.
That's icing.
And we've got a late flag. What's this one going to be? Is this going to be a celebration of some kind? What in the world happened? I don't think it was back where icing was. It came from an official, I think, standing at about the 50. Unsportsmanlike, maybe? Let's find out.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm not sure. Wish we could pick up who that was. I don't think Ison, unless he said something.
No, I don't think it was Ison.
I don't think he jumped in the air, obviously. He's excited. He's, what we call youthful exuberance. I don't think that's going to draw a penalty. Maybe it was something that somebody said.
That's my guess is what it is. And I think it came, I'd say 5 yards away from the play. I think. Well, bottom line.
First and 10, or second and
5.
Second and 5.
Got his man across the middle. Nice throw, nice catch. Villela, touchdown, White Bear.
The Wildcat fans, Wildcat bench looking for some sort of additional call there. That was a beautiful catch, Beautiful pitch and catch, but there were some extracurriculars after the play, and even though this game is probably out of reach for the Bears, nobody wants to see this deteriorate into something that's less than classy for either side.
I didn't catch the distance on that one, but I think it was about a 40-yard pass?
43, I think.
43 we're going with? Okay.
I called it 43.
Perfect. Bottom line, White Bear picks up 6 more. 45-27. It really doesn't matter if you go for 1 or 2 here. Well, actually, 2 would get you within 16.
Yeah, 2 helps.
My correction there. Not going to get it. Cass pick it up, but it is down by contact. Was that Ison that laid him out?
I'm sure we'll see on the replay. My eye was following the ball when it came out.
Let's take a look.
It was
indeed Madden Ison. Aikens will remember that one. We still got 7:53 to go in this one. 45-27. I'm going to guess Vegas taking a beating on this one on the over.
Yeah, I don't. What were you saying? But talking to the coaches before the game, 14-13.
Oh yeah, I said something like that. He's like, yeah, that sounds good, kind of thing, and yeah. And then you and I kind of joked when it was 7-7 right away, and yeah.
Well, and it's again, I'm not going to say the game is absolutely for sure over. They still have almost 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, but it's a 2-score game for the Wildcats, and they're going to get the ball back here, assuming that they manage to get keep their head on this kickoff.
Yep.
But that being said, for the Bears, they've had a couple of really great individual performances, Mike Cook, and unfortunately for those players, it's really overshadowed by the fact that the Wildcat offense has been unstoppable.
Right. Yeah, we have not seen Elijah Montour in this game tonight. At least as a special team player. Yes, he's the Eagan punter.
We are going to see, I think, here an onside kick attempt. You might as well if you're the Bears.
You know, the Cats are looking for it. They've got 6 guys up front and 4 about 10 yards behind that. Ball is loose. White Bear thinks they have it.
And they do.
They do. Well, well, well. 7:51 to go. We know White Bear Lake can get downfield quick.
And the Wildcats did not react fast enough to that ball. There's no question about that. And shame on the Wildcats hands team. They knew it was coming, and yet nobody moved towards it, right? I mean, I don't know how you let
it's Kibajeni. They got it.
I don't know. How do you get Kibajeni? How does he run free that way?
So down by 18. And another catch. That is so easy for White Bear Lake tonight. Another 10 yards for number 10. He just goes 10 yards, stops, turns, bingo.
Well, there's 2 ways to deal with that. First, cover better, or second, put pressure on the quarterback. That defensive line needs to unhitch the wagon and just go flying hell-bent for election. There you go.
From the backside. Nice tackle by Eisen.
Still
Eison's having himself a whale of a football game.
Still a gain of 2, but he'll take it as Sweedock makes the tackle. Nicely done. Zeke Sweedock, one of the Wildcat hockey players.
As we've got a bear down on the field. Guessing looks like it might be kind of a cramp, I want to say. Seems kind of odd to have a cramp in a 30-degree weather, but I know the wind chill factor at the start of this game was in the low 20s. I think the actual air temperature was 36 at the start. The pit starting to thin out a little bit. The adults in the stadium are pretty much all still here on the home side. You know, and the thing you forget, and Carson Schwab's mom was told me this before the game, and I think you mentioned earlier too, this is probably your last game on this field if you're an Eagan senior.
This is your last game on this field as an Eagan senior. I think that's, well, it almost has to be, assuming, you know, even if you manage to somehow beat Eden Prairie, you're still going to end up going to either Forest Lake or Lakeville North or something like that in the section final.
Well,
so
actually, at that point, they're neutral side, I believe. Once you get down to the final 8.
They might be. They might be. So,
well, that's not a good sign for White Bear Lake. That's one of their big linemen out there. Jack Peterson, 6'4", 250. He ran past Nick Johnson and I when we were talking and told NJ that size. I said, boy, he looks a lot bigger than that. And NJ agreed. And White Bear air. White Bear. That ball is nearly picked off Kruger. Opportunity was there, just couldn't quite corral the football.
That was a beautiful ball. Kruger made a nice break on it, but Kruger doesn't make a break on that. Vilala's got that, and he's off to the house. So big stop that time by Kruger. That being said, hey, let's pick that ball off.
That Ani Mashan boy, he's got a nice touch on that pass. And he's just a sophomore for this White Bear Lake squad.
Yeah, so regardless of the result here tonight, the future's bright. I mean, you've got a sophomore quarterback who's slinging the ball around. You know, that's not a bad thing to have coming back next year.
Lipscomb is a senior, the big running back. But that ball knocked down by the Cats.
Great penetration that time by the defensive line. Hansen et al. Knifing in. Now that time, you got to remember something. Coaches will tell you if you're a defensive lineman, one of your teammates is closer to the quarterback than you are, your job is to turn around and look for that screen. It's the second time that the Bears have tried that middle screen, and the second time the Wildcats have got a hand to the ball. But if they don't get a hand to that ball, Mike Cook, he's got the ball and he's running with a bunch of guys in front of him.
4th and 9, White Bear. Need to get to about the 27. You see it on the top left of your screen. Will they get there? No, they will not. Good pressure. Wildcats. Jack Hansen, 78. Overton, 93. And we've got a White Bear Lake player down and writhing. Oh, that's their quarterback. Boy, we were just talking about that young man, Animashan.
He's stripped there. And his his knee got folded back as
I stand corrected. That was number 5. Well, he wears 5.
He wears 5.
Yeah.
No,
he's 5 and 9. We were told 9 initially, and then we were told 5. Yep.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate turn of events. A knee getting kind of pinned under another defensive player as he takes you down, and hopefully it's nothing more than a sprain. But in any event, everybody's going to take a knee, and we're going to get water for everybody here tonight. The Wildcats take over on downs. I guess technically it's a fumble.
Yep.
So it's not turnover on downs.
Right.
It's a turnover. And the Wildcats have forced tonight. That's 2 turnovers, Mike Cook, and they've given up 0. And that's if you're Coach Nick Johnson, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, just slightly. Hey, we had an opportunity. I know we should thank more of our sponsors again as we have an opportunity here. And again, I know Cooper's is on board. Wyatt's Twisted Americana. We've mentioned Eagan Arms. And slow to get up. Let's see if he can put any weight on that right leg. Oh, that's not good, boy. Bad enough your season is probably going to end tonight, but then to have to probably leave the field with the assistance of someone else, possibly crutches. Of course, we got Tavern 13 as well. One of the big Wildcat sponsors. Again, great support throughout the Eagan community for this Wildcat squad. Wildcats take over 44-yard line. 7 minutes even. Cats will maybe lose a yard. I think that'll just be their second negative play of the night, if it is indeed a loss of a yard.
They're going to give them the line of scrimmage, so a no gain, but there's not much the Wildcats need to do other than just get a couple of first downs.
Well, the Wildcats, they've done a good job all night of milking the clock. They're doing it here. Is the play clock down to 7 right now. Schwam keeps. No, he doesn't. He'll pitch it this time near side. Brooklyn Evans to the 45, first down. He'll be actually, they're going to keep him inbounds. We're going to have a late flag, I think. The official was reaching for something in his pocket. I assumed it was a flag. Official with the black hat at the bottom of your screen.
Not sure what was going on there. I think so what happens is, watch Evans here. His forward progress is stopped right there.
Yep.
And then he kind of gets driven out of bounds, and yet if his forward progress is stopped inbounds, you keep the clock running.
They are going to say he got 10. Down to 5.5. As we said, Cats in position to win their first playoff game since the 2015 season.
Well, it's another rung on the ladder, Mike Cook. The climb the ladder mantra that Coach Nick Johnson and the ladder crew have been preaching here for the last handful of years, and you might look at the record this year and say, well, gee whiz, Nate, last year they were 4-4 in the regular season. This year they're 3-5. Is that really a step forward? Well, given the schedule they played this year, the big win over Rosemount, the win over Eastview, it's a step in the right direction. The way they played Lakeville South so tough for 3.5 quarters until basically they just, the football gods said no thanks. And now to win your first playoff game in almost 10 years.
Yep. It'll be 8 years. And about the 40. And you think back to that Lakeville South game. Cats were penalty free. They had to drive. They had a holding call early. And then I'm going to call it a very questionable personal foul in their midfield that basically thwarted that drive and basically took away all the momentum. they said a player said something, and it was kind of a after the fact, other player wouldn't get up and whatever, but bottom line, flag was thrown. Cats end up losing that one, but then we were here against Lakeville North, and you saw this Wildcat team, and you went, okay, it's one game. There's Schwam. You took on a winless Farmington team. They put 56 on you. Granted, 3 of those scores came very late, garbage time, but we were here, 2 weeks ago when Forest Lake was here. Who were the guys in blue?
Maybe the same guys who played Edina at the beginning of the season. I mean, just a real inconsistency, a lack of tackling, a lack of continuity. I wouldn't say a lack of effort, because I don't think that the football team ever really has a real lack of effort, but I could say that there was a lack of effectiveness, no question about that. And the Wildcats right here tonight have demonstrated some real effectiveness.
3.5 to go in this one. I want to throw out that stat I had earlier. 0 pass attempts.
Well, they tried a pass attempt, and there was a sack.
But a foul on it.
Yeah,
they tried one.
They attempted a pass.
Sam Sisk, by the way, number 5, he is your top Eagan receiver. We'll make sure we at least get him, mention him here tonight.
Well, he blocks too.
Yeah, well, I know, but did not touch the football, or has not yet.
This is nice, though. With 7 minutes to go, the Wildcats took over the ball, and now we're inside almost 2.5 minutes. Yep. They're just milking this clock.
Absolutely. This will be Eisen. And he'll go for 6 points, Eagan. Wait, flag. Will it still go to the house? It's a 32-yarder if it stands.
So there was a conflagration between a Bear player and a Wildcat player. The question is, in my mind, is who's the penalty on? Is it a hold on the blue guy in blue? Is it a personal foul on the guy in white? I guess we're about to find out. Yeah, it's a hold.
Okay.
So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so the Wildcats actually pick up. That's crazy. The Wildcats actually pick up a first down and commit a holding penalty well down the field.
Right.
But because it was so far down the field, oh my goodness gracious. They got a first down anyway. That does not happen very often.
No.
And also as a football player, you got to know, hey, if I'm holding 10 yards downfield, that's probably not a good hold.
No.
That's not my guy needs to get the first down. That's, hey, we're rolling down the field. In fact, they were 19 yards down the field.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Trisha Burback and the Ladder crew and those folks here as the Cats Schwam pitch. Eisen. He'll get about 9. Nice tackle by the Bears. They had these player cutouts that parents were able to buy this for their son, grandson, whatever. Tricia and the Ladder crew decided they had to make a couple of us, along with athletic director Sandy Setter. So we've had those here in front of our window the entire game. Maybe that's the good luck symbol. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But yeah, these will be collector's items.
Yeah, you see them there.
There we are. There we go. Yeah.
Actually, that looks pretty cool.
That is pretty good. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's actually a good look for us.
Yeah, it is.
But
a lot of photoshopping there.
Yeah, thank God. I know you said you're going to be signing autographs later. I understood. Is that what I heard?
Autographs.
Okay. So we're down to inside 90 seconds to go in this one. It's going to be 3rd down Wildcats.
Well, I don't think we're going to have anybody charging the field or anything like that here tonight. I mean, it was a comprehensive victory for the Wildcats. The Bears, to their credit, took some punches, gave some punches. The Bears played hard all night. It just didn't come up. It didn't come up where they needed them to be, and frankly, their defense just was not able to ever stop the Wildcat offense.
No. And again, give the Wildcats credit. And that'll be a first down. Inside a minute to go. Your final is going to be 45-27. Eagan Wildcats Again, the Eagan Wildcats, November 3rd at Eden Prairie. Again, top ranked, undefeated. Hey, somebody's got to take down the Eagles, right?
Absolutely. I mean, hey, the football gods giveth and they taketh away. And
Absolutely.
you never know when it's your chance to be on the right side of history.
But for the Eagan Wildcats, this is a long time coming.
And I hope the players, the coaches, the families, I hope everybody enjoys this at least for 24 hours, 24, maybe 36 hours. And last kneel down as they ticks down, and the Wildcats celebrate, and rightly so. Gentlemen, you guys have won yourselves a 6A football playoff game, and that's been a long time coming.
And I want to say congratulations, Nick Johnson, Eagan head coach, first playoff win for NJ as the Eagan Wildcat head man. So there's you look at the stretch of futility it's been for the Eagan Wildcats. 2015, they beat Centennial 24-21. Well, these kids were elementary school last time the Eagan Wildcats won a playoff game. Now they're moving on. If you take a look at the bracket, again, Eden Prairie, Forest Lake comfortably ahead. We believe those are goose eggs for their opponents. Yeah, Forest Lake North, that should be a whale of a football game down at Lakeville North. But Nathan, that's going to wrap it up for us, my friend.
It's been a good season, Mike. Thanks very much. It's been, I think this is the conclusion of season 8, is it?
I think that's what we decided.
Were you and I, season 8 here as being the lucky guys who get to call these games here for the Wildcats, as you see a few of the students going onto the field to celebrate with the players, and why not? It's the last game on this field for a number of the seniors, and thank you so much to our award-winning ETV crew for making us look and sound good.
Absolutely.
Here, and Mike, thanks for all the hard work you do as being the voice of the Wildcats, and thank you so much for giving of your time to help us keep this community asset shining like a diamond.
Hey man, it is a team effort. You and I get the headsets, but you know what? It's truly a team effort. So just like the Wildcats tonight, team performance. Wildcats win a playoff game for the first time in 8 years, 45-27 over White Bear Lake. Gonna wrap it up here from Wildcat Country. Again, congratulations to the Eagan Wildcats. Go get them at Eden Prairie. On behalf of Nathan Cron, I'm Mike Cook, the entire ETV crew. Speaking on behalf of the entire ETV crew, have yourselves a good night. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time for Wildcat football on ETV.